Hello, welcome to the Front Desk Manager training. I'm so glad you could join me. Let's get started. We're going to start off real simple. Let's start off with a job description for a Front Desk Manager, aka an FDM. Front Desk Manager is an administrative student assistant primarily responsible for monitoring the front desk, daily services, and access into the residence halls. During your shift as an FDM, you are the RA on call. Don't worry if you don't know what that means. We'll go into that in a few slides. You are like the team captain. You will check for IDs and hold desk assistants, aka DAs, accountable. You're going to motivate your DAs. You're going to help decorate the front desk, organize, clean, assign tasks for DAs, and much more. Front desk managers are expected to be familiar with the student handbook, the guide to on-campus living and housing contract, RA, FDM, and DA manuals, and the Code of Ethical Standards. As an FDM, you have the opportunity to impact student engagement and community development. FDMs focus on creating positive and meaningful student experiences. FDMs will build and maintain positive and meaningful relationships with residents of the hall, will consider diverse students' needs when engaging with residents, will maintain the aesthetic of their building, including but not limited to active rounds, resetting lounge common spaces, escorting vendors, and entering school dude requests as needed. School dude, aka work orders. Demonstrate ownership over the success of the community by actively upholding community standards, quiet hours, guest policies, and much more. You will also create and maintain a positive and welcoming environment at the front desk. You will help make appropriate referrals to other campus resources that can assist in the students' well-being and success at JWU. You'll help us create bulletin boards, banners, and/or promotional material as instructed by your supervisor. You can also help us maintain integrity of relationships with residents by following confidentiality, accessibility, and setting boundaries. Provide a high level of customer service in all interactions. As an FDM, you will also deal with conflict and crisis management. FDMs will demonstrate knowledge and application of residential life and university policies and protocols. Don't worry, we'll help you out. FDMs will understand and implement methods of confronting, documenting, following up with, and/or mediating incidents that affect the well-being of the community. You will understand and be able to articulate the student code of conduct review process, guide to on-campus living, and conflict resolution process to students. You will serve as a primary on-call contact during your assigned shifts. You will help us document incidents in a timely manner, thorough, and grammatically accurate way. And you will exhibit strong critical thinking skills by effectively managing routine tasks and unexpected concerns. If you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to your AC, RD, or GA. The FDM position also entails leadership development. FDMs will understand and apply leadership traits within their work with residential life and as an ambassador of our department to the JWU community. FDMs will demonstrate ethical behavior consistent with the Residential Life Code of Ethics at all times. FDMs will participate in continued professional development opportunities, included but not limited to FDM training, in-services, and through continuous conversations with supervisors about short and long-term goals. You will acquire the skills for maintaining balance between academic, residential life, and personal responsibilities to ensure a holistic success. And FDMs will demonstrate initiative to ensure success of the hall and department. As an FDM, you will focus on professionalism and teamwork. FDMs will understand the impact of positive teamwork and will demonstrate a commitment to professionalism. FDMs will attend to complete all shifts, duties, on-call, desk coverages, and more. You will complete all administrative duties, including but not limited to maintaining organized front desk paperwork, log and distribution of packages, and maintaining the front desk inventory. FDMs will appropriately manage emotions and display positive and professional behaviors. The FDMs will also communicate in a clear, effective, timely, and appropriate way, including GroupMe text messages, social media, and email. You will meet all deadlines set by the department and supervisor. You will seek and incorporate feedback to improve your job performance. FDMs will adhere to the department dress code, will adhere to scheduled shifts, and work with supervisors proactively to request changes. You will log all hours in HR polls on a consistent basis and hold DAs accountable to same expectations. FDMs will focus on team development. You will work with the graduate assistant to create a positive front desk team. FDMs will actively help to facilitate desk assistant meetings and functions, including assistant supervisors with DA scheduling. You will help maintain accurate and up-to-date desk assistant paperwork that includes shift changes and time logs. You will role model effective front desk management skills to the team on a consistent basis. You will provide clear and professional feedback to DAs within a scope of authority and keep supervisor up to date. Regularly communicate the team and desk concerns to leadership team, and you will work to address them. Don't think that you have to do this all by yourself. Let's learn who staffs the front desk. So we have 3 front desk managers. Monday through Friday, we have 3 shifts. An AM shift, which is 8 a.m. to 12, early PM shift, which is 12 p.m. to 4, and an evening shift, which is 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. All FDMs work 20 hours a week. This is very important for international students. You must stay between those 20 hours. But you also have your DAs, your desk assistants. They're students who have federal work study and apply through student employment to work at our front desks. They will have the ability to pick a campus or say both, and they're allotted 11.75 hours a week. And after that, we have your resident assistants. They are always there in case you need help or backup, and they are also there when we are short on coverage and need help. We ask RAs to help and fill gaps, but only as the last resort. Asking yourself, when is it that we staff the front desk? Well, we staff the front desk 24/7 throughout the academic year. Yes, we also staff the desk during the summer, but that's for another day. We do not staff the desk during the Thanksgiving, winter, or spring break. However, we do have an RA on call. The desk is staffed from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. At 10 p.m., overnight security takes over. Well, it might seem silly, but what is the front desk? Take the time to think about that, and we'll talk about it on the next slide. It wasn't a trick question. It's quite simple. The front desk is a place that is situated in the lobby of each building, except the village, and it is meant to perform many functions and serve many roles. If you're asking yourself, why is the village an exception? Well, the village has a community building, and within that community building, that's where their front desk is located. So, why do we have a front desk? Well, as we said before, the front desk serves many purposes. You are a welcoming committee. You are the first face our residents see as they come back from class, after they've had a long day, or when they're getting back from work. The front desk is the first place most people see when entering the building. We want everyone to feel welcome and comfortable. We want you to help us do that. This may be some students' only interaction throughout the day. Take the minutes to think about that. You have a great chance to make a big impact. You help set the tone for the building. You can make the building a lively place. You can make people excited to pass by the lobby. Get to know them, ask them about their day, ask them about their classes. Help them with any concerns they have. You are it. Continuing what I said back there, you are community builders. You as an FDM and your DAs are welcome to do programs. If you have a fun idea, let's try it out. Reach out to your GA, RD, or AC and let them know about your plan. We'd be happy to help. Another important reason we have a front desk and why you're there is for safety and policy enforcement. The front desk helps monitor who comes in and out of the building, and it helps keep our residents safe and abiding by the rules. You help enforce guest policy, equipment log, alcohol, and other prohibited items. Lastly, most important part to some of our residents, you're there to help us with mail service. You help sort and distribute mail and packages. You are also frequently asked questions land. The front desk is where students go if they don't know where to find something or how to do something. That can include laundry, where classes, who to talk to about a number of issues, and work orders. You're there to assist them. You are the it person of the building. I hope that makes you feel special. All right, next up, we're going to learn how we operate the front desk. First, we're going to learn what can be found behind the front desk. Your front desk will typically include a front desk computer that's meant for package log and emails, maybe some music. It'll include a bunch of binders. Those that will include the RA on-call manual, the equipment log, the guest log, the roster, and probably your key log. And it will also include your DA schedule. There's going to be a lot more paperwork, notes, flyers on your desk, so make sure that you ask your GA to let you know where everything is. We definitely have more stuff behind the front desk. We have these magical buttons. They look different in every hall, so do ask about that. They're located in different locations, but they'll always be somewhere on or near the desk. These open the doors to let student in. Remember, you're in control. You have to make sure you're letting people in who are showing you their ID. You have to make sure that you're focusing on the hall sticker and that you're not letting anybody, just anybody, come in. Some of these buildings do not have these buttons. Those include Harborview, the Village, and Xavier. On-call keys. The front desk has on-call keys. These are so important. These can get passed on from person to person throughout the shifts. These keys go to each of the offices that have master keys and important information. Make sure you don't lose them. They're also the keys to the package closet, which is pretty important for your day-to-day activities. Lastly, something that might seem the most obvious, you have your desk phone. The desk phone needs to be picked up every time it rings while you're there during your shift. And it can be used to make outside calls. Then there's this cool little black flip phone that is the on-call phone. It is so important that this phone gets passed from FDM to FDM and towards the end of the night from FDM to RA. And the on-call phone number should never be given out. Remember, when speaking with a student, family member, or colleague, either in person or on the telephone, staff will include a greeting and an offer of assistance before requesting a student's ID number. Staff will convey a friendly and helpful tone in all interactions and will address the student by name whenever possible. Examples of a call greeting could be, "Good morning, residential life. This is, how may I help you?" An example from another front desk greeting could be, "Good morning, how may I help you?" There are many ways you could do it. Just make sure that you introduce yourself, you introduce what department, and you say your name. So, like we said earlier, you're going to be the source of all answers when you're at the front desk. But sometimes you might not have the answer, and that is okay. What is not okay is to not ask for help, find out what the answer is, or get back to that person with an answer. Please try to not make answers up. You can always let them know that you'll reach back out to them once you do find the answer that they need. We already touched base a little bit on transfers, but if the requested staff member is not available to assist with a student concern or request, the staff member should ask the caller if they would like the staff member's phone number or email, and if they would like to leave a message on their voicemail. If yes, provide the caller with the staff member's phone number, then press transfer, dial the extension, and transfer again so it can connect the caller to the voicemail. If the caller has an urgent matter and the staff member feels comfortable, he or she can email the appropriate staff member to explain the situation and copy the caller on the email. A good example of the telephone transfer would be, "Hi Chris, this is from Rest Life. I have Jason Jones on the line. He has a question about his bill. Are you available to speak to him?" So now that we're talking about you answering questions and answering phones and being on call while you're covering the desk, let's talk about FERPA. I wonder if you've heard about it. It's the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It was made in 1974, and it is an amendment that governs the access to educational information and records by public entities such as potential employers, publicly funded education systems, and foreign governments. This protects our students and their information. We cannot give any personal information over the phone to anyone, even if it's a parent or guardian. We cannot verify anything about the student. This includes where they live, if they live there, and if you know them. So, if you ever get a call from a parent or a guardian worried about their student, please make sure that you let your ACRD know and you transfer them to campus safety and security. All right, now that you have your bearings set of what items you have at the front desk, let's talk about the computer and what you're going to use it for. We're going to be sharing with you a OneDrive folder, and it's going to have all your team's information and all of your building's information. Let's talk some more about that. That you can find in your team's OneDrive folder are the package log, your building roster, the DA sign-in and out form, DA documentation form, front desk schedule, and your emailing package images. FDM, one of your main duties will be distributing and logging mail packages. You're going to be receiving an abundance of packages through your building, and you're going to take the time to confirm that the students and room numbers are accurate with our roster located on the OneDrive. Once you've done that, you're going to write the room number in the package all throughout its surfaces, and once you're done sorting all the packages, you're going to be sending all students an email, but you must make sure that you BCC the students. The roster should be on the drive in the package log, and the appropriate image will also be on it. You should be sending out emails only after you have logged all the packages. We don't wait until the end of our shift to do so. Please remember that. On this slide, you can see all our package images. You have the bare basic, you have received a package and the times to pick it up. If we ever receive a damaged packet, we will send that email to those students letting them know that their package was received damaged. Here is our you have picked up a package. Once students have picked up a package, you are to email this to them. And if they receive anything like flowers, groceries, a fruit delivery, you will send them a perishable package email. All right, let's talk about the guest log now. As we had mentioned earlier, you're going to be the person who lets people in and who signs guests in also. Make sure that the resident who is checking in their guests has their JWU ID with them, and the guest must have a state-issued ID with a date of birth and photo. Remember, each resident may only have 2 guests signed in at a time, and no one under the age of 16 may visit. But if they fall under the age of 16 and are 16 years or older, they might be able to visit if the resident fills out an underage guest form. This form can be found online, and the resident who's signing in the underage guest must get a signature approval from the AC, RD, or GA before the guest can visit. Lastly, the guest log should be revised every 2 hours. This can be done by RA, FDMs, or DAs. This means that minimally, the guest log should be revised twice during your shift. All right, we've discussed packages, we've discussed checking in guests. Some other things you got are lockouts. So you record these on the OneDrive every time you give a student a lockout because they each cost $10, and after 5 lockouts, they'll be charged $50 to their account. If you see yourself giving lockouts to the same student over and over, it might be a good reminder that there is a fee for these, and if they've lost a key, that they should notify us. One of the other most important things that you have to do are checking to make sure that all our master keys are there. These should be checked during the first 30 minutes of each shift. And if missing, you should check the key log to make sure that somebody has them checked out. Or if they're not, you could call 1234, which is the maintenance line, to see if anyone in maintenance has the keys. If nobody has the keys and you're unaware, then you would call up to the RLOC to see if they are aware of the keys, and if not, to let them know that you have not been able to find them. At that point, we will go on fire crime watch if they are not found. Master keys should never leave the building. Please note that that is very important, and make sure that you check at the beginning and end of your shift to make sure that all keys are accounted for. All right, here are some more rules that we haven't discussed. Only residence hall team members are allowed to access the front desk. None of your friends can go behind the front desk, and even desk assistants who are not on shift should not be behind the desk. The front desk holds a lot of important and private confidential information. This is why this rule must be obeyed at all times. Okay, you should also consistently address and greet students every time they enter the lobby. A nice, "Hey, how are you? How's it going? May you please show your ID?" That always goes a long way. Avoid engaging in personal visits or having guests crowding the front desk. You need to make sure that you are focused on who's entering the building and who you are giving access to the building. The use of personal cell phones, phone calls, FaceTimes, or anything else is not permitted. If you must take a phone call or it's an emergency, please let your DA or GA know before stepping off the desk. Headphones or earbuds are not permitted. This goes along the same way. You have to make sure that you're always attentive and that you're always paying attention to what's going on in the lobby. Books, magazine, or written homework, as long as it is not distracting from the ability to control the security of the hall, are accepted. Music at the desk is allowed only if the ACRD/GA of the building approves, and if it is kept at a low volume level and cannot be heard by people calling the front desk phone. Of course, any music, if allowed, must be deemed appropriate. Lastly, front desk computers. The front desk computers are to be used for residential life purposes only. Personal use of the computer, including using it for Facebook, personal emails, as well as using the front desk computer for homework, is prohibited.
Please review the following protocol for missing a shift.
FDMs can wear casual or business casual clothing for their FDM shifts. Culinary and hospitality uniforms are always permitted. The following are unacceptable forms of clothing during your shift. These are revealing clothing, sweatpants, pajamas, athletic pants, shirts or clothing with inappropriate logos and language. Remember, as an FDM and RA, you should always be wearing your name tag as a part of your attire for your FDM shift. Talk a little bit about meetings and HR polls. Let's talk about FDM meetings. FDMs will meet with their GAs at least once per month. Meetings should be done during their shift when there is a DA to sit the desk. GAs will go over the following: team member strengths, areas of growth, front desk management, desk assistant concerns, creation of goals associated with professional development, and you will be able to express any personal concerns that you may have. HR goals. FDMs and DAs. All right, we're wrapping up. Let's talk about your front desk and some of the things that you could do to give it a little bit of your own flair and to just spruce it up a bit. All right, so what are some things you can do or have at your front desk for your residents? There's a lot of things that you could do. I want you guys to think about what you want your front desk to represent when you're there. Do you want to have daily fun facts or song of the day? Do you want to decorate with your fellow DAs and FDMs seasonally or monthly? Do you want to create a board? Maybe host events, have trivia games, provide snacks during the holidays? How can you show your residents appreciation? Whatever ideas you have, reach out to your GA or your RD and AC and let them know. We'd be glad to help you spruce up the front desk and make it a more enjoyable space for you all. Congratulations on finishing the FDM training video. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your GA, RD, or AC.